Ooh wee. Got my baby on the line. I told him if it ain't about the money, then they wasting time. I ain't sweating the struggle, my vibe's still divine. Working with my rhymes, I'm getting better with time. It's like Goofy's getting better at lying. I ain't even had to flex, hey, I'm barely even trying. Smooth saucer, chill profit, I never lost it, just doubled up. They dead before the coffin. Keep it true and discreet, but I'm light, got me floating in my feet. Hard work, keeping up with me. Manifesting more money for my peak. Their bars is always weak, I won't preach, I just peep from the south. It's telling what every word coming out my mouth. Lived and dropped, but God's heart helped me make it out. Purpose is for the masses, but they be foreign to what I'm talking about. Cause I don't speak for clout, no. Ooh, yeah, y'all already know how it go. Jazzy feels on the flow, now you know. What's up, tribe? I'm so happy to have y'all here. Shout out to the 3rd episode. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know, I had to put something saucy. I hope you guys was enjoying that little song, that little display of my smooth energy. Shout out to the YouTube creators that come up with this content, and shout out to me for having the confidence to express myself. That leads into the topic of today. Boo, boo, boo. I'm so happy to have y'all here on Fake Big Dick Energy, and I think that the biggest subject matter ever to be discussed would be this one today, because we're going to talk about being creative, balancing being creative, and what that means to me. I feel like there's been so many levels of my creativity to be explored, and I feel like this is one of my most transformative ones because of the fact of me involving all of me. So when I say creative, it's really just being you, because that's the only difference between you and another person. When you're being your creative self, you're showing the world your form of yourself, like your individuality, things that make you different, even if it's just the way your eyes sit. Like some people, I know they got a little twitch on the eye or whatever the case may be. That's being creative, exploring that, expanding on that, and balancing that within all of life and all the purposes in life. I feel like one of my biggest purpose in life is to express my creativity. That's not the case for everybody, but we're going to talk about it for the people that are creative, for the people that are just creative in their mind. Sometimes it's not necessarily meant to be expressed. I thank God for giving me the endurance to be able to express it to other people, because it leaves room for other people to feel validated. Sometimes when I started out, or especially when it was things like controversial, I've always been controversial. I'm a Sagittarius, so I would be willing to do the things that other people wouldn't do. But even with that, I've had to build that up within myself. I've been hesitant, even with not having a fake big dick in the last episode. I had a friend say, you can't call it fake big dick energy if you don't incorporate the big dick. So yes, sexuality is part of my creativity. That's something that makes me different, expanding into those forms of tabooism. That's part of my creative. That's something that brings joy to me, and that's something that I think makes me stand out. So when you're thinking about yourself, the biggest thing that I had to acknowledge is what myself was. Started with writing, journaling, and I was journaling since elementary school. I didn't realize that was a form of me developing myself to then help others develop. At the time, I thought it was just something that I did to get away. Like I went back to my mother's house the beginning of this year. I stayed with her maybe like a month or two, and I found like some notebook entries, and it's like as soon as I read it, I remember exactly where I was. But it's strange because I forgot that girl. So being creative for me is understanding myself, remembering myself, and also helping other people develop themselves. And that is God's journey. I had a friend that told me that she could still see that God is using me as a vessel with this podcast. And that's so beautiful, because if anyone know me, I know I'm very religious. I get on my knees every night. I pray constantly throughout the day. Like God is a big, big, big influence in my life. And I thank God for giving me the opportunity from manifesting all of these things, from my dick to my microphone to just all the aspects of, my stand, this phone. It is all things that came to me that if it didn't come to me in that state, it would have never been the case. So that is what helped me understand that there's a purpose deeper than just having these benefits. And it took me some time to really have the confidence to express myself. And even now, I just got a job. So this is like a perfect topic, because everyone is balanced in life. Everyone is grown. Once you get out of high school. And even in high school, I remember being so involved in so many things that I forgot about myself. So that's why I say this one is the most important one, because now more than ever, this world needs people to be themselves. Be confident in yourself. Express that to other people. What makes you different from the rest of the world, and what could you offer to the world? And I feel like the biggest thing with me and balancing it is knowing that if it holds a form of value, if other people receive it and respect, even if people, are uncomfortable, that's a good thing, because sometimes you need that to grow. So whenever I get a reaction or I get a form of response, I feed more into that. And that's what's helped me understand where I should balance and what is a priority or what's not. I feel like as I've been growing, the biggest thing that I've learned is that I can't really change too much. All I can manipulate is how I feel about a thing and how I want to be represented because of it, like my reaction. So when it comes to like this podcast or just developing myself and understanding myself, I've gone through so many transitions, and I've never really discussed how the biggest transition was me accepting that I hold weight in this world. I have something to add into this world. And this video more than ever is for all those people out there that may be uncertain about what their thing to offer to the world is. It took me literally, I'm still discovering it, 28 years. I'm hoping I have it down by 30, because the biggest thing for me is being consistent in what I wanted to develop. Only then could you really get creative, because tapping into any forms, like for example, when I knew I could write, it took me years and years to actually be able to cultivate not only writing or a bar, but also incorporate a form of artistry where I can manipulate sounds, manipulate flows, manipulate tempos, and also expression, like the energy. And it's something slight. I know there's so much room to grow within that, but when you're balancing your creativity, you're accepting the levels, you're accepting the process of it, and accepting the time. It takes years. Like, I know I look young, but I'm 28. So it takes the hurt, it takes the pain and the sacrifice and the failures, and also the people telling me I couldn't, that pushed me to actually show myself that I could sometimes. And also the people that tell me that I can, it pushed me to show that actually you believing in me helps me go further. I feel like this matter for me is just embracing and actually acknowledging the fact that I've gotten to a place of acceptance. And I feel like a lot of people that are on the journey of self-development at this point in where the earth is, like you see yourself. So either you're going to be appreciative of it, whether it's imperfect or whatever the case may be, appreciate you being here and taking it somewhere else bigger, or you're going to just be acknowledging where you at and just letting that flow. Something I've learned with life is that if you don't take control of it, it will take control over you. And a lot of people think their purpose is in making money or looking like success, but I can tell you without a doubt, someone has made thousands of dollars and also lost thousands of dollars. Like, I'm a trader, but I'm also a hustler. Like, I come from Little Haiti. I was raised in Miami Gardens. Like, all of that type of stuff. I see a lot of people raised in those same environments and completely switched up to not be of me. Like, I've completely aligned into a new form of expression and a new form of validation. And there's some people that a lot of people counted out. Like, the people that's counted out 9 times out of 10 is the people that got something to offer. And I'm so happy to see the growth in my life. I'm so honored to have so much time in myself, and I want to bring it back to the source of being creative. But what that was is just you showing that creativity is just being you. And I feel like there's always phases of myself to learn. Once I've acknowledged the fact that I don't have to be like everybody else, or it doesn't have to look how other people would have thought it would look, life became so much more easier. And I think the biggest reason why I wanted to highlight this into just a subject matter altogether is because, like, you just don't know how those little details. I've been searching so far and wide for someone to do what I'm doing here on this podcast. And it's just really just to show you that to be a human, to be natural, to be confident, it's so inspiring. So being creative is necessary, and I don't want people to just think creativity is supposed to look good. A lot of people, they care about the presentation of how that gift looks, and the gift, is not necessarily nothing. But sometimes, like with me, what I found is that Even if it doesn't have a nice presentation, if it's really a gift, you're going to feel that. So it's all about the energy, and I appreciate y'all that's been dealing with all the subject matters on this podcast. If y'all seen all 3 episodes, hey, shout out. Go ahead and like this, comment this. You know, we doing this every Sunday, and it's just a little bit. I'm just taking a little bit of y'all time and allowing y'all to get to know me in this process, but also get to know y'all. So I would definitely say, even if y'all getting y'all money, even if y'all exploring and experiencing new things, remember to be creative. Creative could start with just journaling. Being creative could start with just having that one friend that you talk to and really express yourself to. Being creative can be switching the scenery, like putting in something new. Like you see, I changed my background. That's creative. There's no wrong way to be creative. And I'm so happy that a lot of people are acknowledging that and bringing that little spunk. It's pride, but beyond the sexuality aspect, you being you is what's beautiful. So I just wanted to come through and tell y'all that, and I hope y'all fuck with the whole vibes all together. We got this song gonna be on SoundCloud. It's called Purple. Y'all know everything is Jazzy Feels. And one moment in the future, I will take the time to really go further, but y'all know we on Rumble right now, so we're just exploring that and being creative in that. There's no right, there's no wrong. And I know some people could always want more. You're always gonna want more when you're being creative, but you have to be appreciative of what's given in that moment, because this is a lot. To take the time in my day to actually do this, it gives me more of a purpose in my day. Because there's so many other things I could have been doing, so many things that could have stopped me from doing this. But look, we here, so I'm proud of myself. And I think the biggest thing about this subject matter is not to call out any differences or call out the good or the bad of it, but also just to acknowledge that it's all a process and it's all feeding into one. So with that, I love you. Know that you are creative as well. Even if you don't have to go in front of a camera to prove that to anybody. I love you. Love yourself. And always, through everything, and see how you feel after that. Even if other people telling you wrong, other people telling you that you could do things other ways, like take the time to really see how do you feel, what you want to do, and really just listen to that. That has been a key that has really guided me through so many journeys. Like my life has been 6 different people's lives, and that in itself is creative. So that's what I wanted to highlight. What is creativity to me? And balancing it is just knowing that there's a purpose in it, even if you don't understand what that purpose is for. It could be for somebody else completely. It could be just for God to show that you could do it. So do you. Peace.